If you are a complete beginner to crypto airdrops and you want to know how you can actually get started earning free money from these different ecosystems, then this video will teach you exactly what you need to know. I'm going to break down what an airdrop is, why you want to be farming them, and the best strategies for actually going ahead and farming them. Now, I'll tell you how we go about managing our airdrop farming because it can get a little complicated. So, for starters, what is a crypto airdrop? Well, it's basically when you get rewarded for being an early user to a blockchain or an application built on a blockchain. And the reward comes in the form of a token or cryptocurrency that is airdropped or sent to your crypto wallet. So, for example, when Optimism and Arbitrum did their airdrops, they were rewarding people that interacted early on with their layer 2 Ethereum blockchain, and then on the other hand, more recently, the Jito team dropped some Jito tokens to people that staked their Solana with their particular application on the Solana blockchain. So that's an app airdrop. Sometimes the tokens you get will be rewarded with literally just show up, or you get airdropped into your wallet like the second round of Optimism drop. But other times you have to manually go to the website and actually claim the tokens. For example, with the recent Celestia airdrop, you had to claim the one, and if you didn't before the end of the claim period, then your tokens were redistributed to other people that qualified. And what we're trying to do is interact with as many different applications as possible so we can qualify for as many airdrops as possible in 2024 and beyond. And hopefully we'll be able to replicate some of the previous success because we've earned 5 to 6 figures from airdrops in 2023, and we're hoping to increase that to 6 figures plus in 2024. So now that we know what an airdrop is, how can we actually get them? And I'll explain that. Now, if you look on the screen right now, you'll see an infographic that was created by someone on Twitter called Mr. Loomis that lists basically a variety of different airdrops that you could get in 2024. Now at this point, I'm going to tell you flat that it's impossible for you to get every single airdrop, and you definitely have to pick and choose your battles. Each blockchain has different ecosystems of layer 2s and layer 3s and applications that you won't be able to farm them all. So I'd recommend for starters dipping in your feet in the water, picking up a couple, experience how it works, and then expanding the horizons from there. As for us personally, we are going to be focused on 3 ecosystems, which is the Ethereum ecosystem, including all of the layer 2s. Then there's the Solana ecosystem with a lot of incoming airdrops for different applications. And then there is the Cosmos ecosystem with many different app chains where you can be rewarded for just holding and staking tokens like Atom and Celestia or Tia. And I've experienced with a variety of other airdrops, including L1 blockchains and different free testnet airdrops, some of which we'll probably cover on the channel at some point. But like I said, those are the 3 main ones that we're looking at. And if you have a limited amount of capital and time to allocate towards airdrop farming, you're going to want to have a few that you choose from. Now, the next step is to decide how much capital and time you're willing to invest in this, because that's going to determine how many wallets you should be farming with and what type of airdrops you should be farming, because even within the Ethereum ecosystem, for example, there are free and test airdrops that you can farm, like the Tau layer 3 airdrop, and then there's others that require a significant amount of capital, so for example, the linear airdrop. And to complete some of the transactions on the linear chain, they're actually quite expensive. And then with some of the different applications like staking on Ethereum or Eigen layer, you really get rewarded for having a significant amount of capital. So you have to decide how much you're willing to put towards airdrop farming and how much time you have. Now let's talk about the money that you need per wallet to successfully farm airdrops. If we're talking about the Solana ecosystem, then you can probably fund each new wallet with $200 and really accomplish quite a lot because the transaction fees are super low and it's not actually that expensive to use the network to make deposits into DeFi platforms. If we're talking about Ethereum ecosystem, it's a little bit more expensive to make transactions, and there's a lot of cases where you need a lot more capital. So you might have to have $1,000 to invest in airdrop farming, or those raking ETH staking protocols are probably going to have really solid airdrops, and there's also going to be a lot of different applications that are going to reward people that deposit liquidity or that try high amounts on different apps. So if you're starting out completely from scratch and you have a limited amount of money, I might recommend actually starting with Solana or starting with an Ethereum layer 2 that has cheap transactions. Now what we're trying to do here with each wallet is we're trying to complete transactions on as many of these different applications as I can on all of these different Ethereum layer 2s. And so this can be quite time consuming. And if you have a lot of time, I recommend farming airdrops with multiple different wallets. But this leads me to a super important point, which is if you're going to farm airdrops with multiple different wallets, make sure that you do not send money between them. You have to keep them completely separated and siloed so that when you fund a fresh wallet for airdrop farming, you should send the ETH from a centralized exchange where it won't actually be linked to your other wallets. And the same thing applies for Solana or for Atom tokens, whatever you're doing now. For me personally, within the Ethereum ecosystem, I have about 3 wallets, and I'm actually actively farming Thing at about the same level, and I have another 2 or 3, including this wallet, that I use for demos on the channel, where I just show a couple random things here and there. And I'm not all in on that one. So that's a total of about 5 or 6 Ethereum wallets. So then I have about 3 Solana wallets and 4 Cosmos ecosystem wallets. So that's my setup for farming airdrops with multiple wallets in multiple ecosystems. And you can see that it gets pretty complicated quickly. So that's why I've built this checklist, and I've got 1 for Ethereum, 1 for Solana, and 1 for Cosmos ecosystem. This really helps me keep track of everything that I'm doing, especially if you have a limited amount of time and funds. Now, there's a lot of different things you have to do for different airdrops. Some of them you can interact with once, some of them you have to have continual interaction with. And on the channel, we're basically going to make videos about how you can go ahead and actually get all of these different airdrops, or how you can qualify. It tells you the activities here, the type, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to have videos about it all on the channel. So make sure you stick around and watch the channel, because we're going to we're showing you exactly how to farm them as efficiently as possible in 2024 and going forwards. Now, if you do this aggressively, you spend a lot of time on this, you can easily clear 5 up to 6 figures with this. So keep that in mind, and you can really do very well with this. Now, with that being said, if you did find this video useful, be sure to go down below and like and subscribe, and also comment that it did help you out so other people can see the same video, get the same advice, and we can all grow together as a community and help each other out with the airdrop farming and everything to do with crypto. So I will see you in the next video.